All right. Is this all today? I'm not the most exciting presentation today. I know that. I know, and I got nothing. That's why I'm still here. I'm going to try to. I'm going to go back and scavenge for some extra barbecue chicken. All right, ready to roll? Thank you, sir. All right, so my name's Adam John. I was a inaugural speaker here at BSides Nashville several years ago. I'm a organizer for BSides Charm in Baltimore, and I know multiple people here on the committee here, and I enjoy this BSides actually tremendously. I think it's a very good one, and I asked to speak again, and luckily I won out. So that's what brings me here. I am 40 years old. I'm a bit of a parrot head, if you're wondering why I chose this title. I have been doing this for a couple decades. I'm sure some of you also have been doing this for quite some time. I have led a quite interesting career path. And what I'm just here to do is talk to you guys about what works. I've seen work. I work with a lot of people who are near retirement, and I have worked with, learned a lot from them, all these mentors that I have. I love when more people come in. I'm also, yes?
Each speaker in the track gets to give away one bag.
Sweet.
So feel free to give away that bag.
Everyone gets a bag that, I like. So that's one person. Oh, look, all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's a porcupine in here and everything. It's all in Western PA. I say porcupine. All right, so, All right, so let's just say everyone's career is different. Everyone goes through the shit, really. Like I said, everyone goes through the storm. Some people it's a little worse. I'm not saying I'm the one on fire. You may be, and that leads to the next slide. Well, okay, I'll go to this slide. Audience participation is required in all of my talks. That's just how I am. That's why I am here after the lunch hour, because Lauren knows I will pull somebody up or come in the audience and ask you a question. No sleeping in my class. All right. So, yeah, I've been doing this a while, like I said. I was a land administrator for a hospital. It's a big one in Baltimore. That's where I really started my IT career. It has a dome. If you don't know what that means, then a quick search on the internet will find it. I've been a tech geek since I was 5 when I got my first Tandy computer with a nice little cassette tape recording drive. It was bought for my brother, and I was the one who used it the most, mainly because it's a race car game. And I had, on the back of the TV, we had a little, dim switch, go back and forth. And I've been doing this ever since. I am actually one of the youngest people holding my crowd. So everyone here, you have your friends, your mentors, your people you run with, right, in this information security world. I don't talk well, so if you can't hear me when I talk like this, just say, dude, speak up, all right? And I actually I'm one of the youngest people in that crowd. Most of the people I run with are nearing retirement, which is an interesting time for me to watch these people wrap up their careers and learn what they've been through, and actually, lay that foundation work for all of us that are coming afterwards to improve upon security and improve upon all the frameworks that are a part of it. It's also really neat because I'm becoming that old person now, right? The gray, it comes naturally. My first gray hair was the first day my son was born. And I had 3 or 4, then my daughter was born, and the rest of this came. And so, but, as I'm going to be starting to transition to the latter half of my career, it's my job, and everyone else in this time, to look, behind me at who's coming up behind me, who's going to overtake me, who's that baton going to go to, right? Any other euphemism or, line insert here. Because if we don't do it, they are starting at ground zero. They won't know what's going on. That's the whole reason behind BSides. All right? Share, learn, meet, right? That's what this is about. That's why you're here. That's why I'm talking to you, and that's why everyone talk to each other. All right? No one leaves without a friend at BSides. My Twitter is up there. I am known for making lots of snarky remarks. Usually nothing about security. Mostly it's about privacy. That's one of my big things is how the privacy of everyone is being stripped away in this world. So I talk a lot about that. And that's my personal company's email. You can shoot me a line. I'm not on Twitter a heck of a lot, but I get an alert when someone, PMs me. Feel free to reach out if you want to. Most of the stuff is taken from Reddit or Twitter, the photos, right? So, this is my agenda, but like I said, this is a crowdsourced talk. So, if you see something, or I say something, or someone else says something, and we go off track, hell with it. If it's interesting, let's do it. All right? Because I can't cram 20 years into an hour, or all of your careers, into an hour. So let's find if there's something you have an issue with, or maybe we can talk about it, or we can talk about it afterwards. Don't feel crazy about it, right? All right. So I started in the 90s. Who is that? With a kitty cat? Kurt Cobain. Smells like Teen Spirit, right? My hair used to be about that long, as you can tell. I was really cool. I thought I was really cool. Like most people, most millennials, most of the generation after millennials, whatever they are. And I hit the ground running. So basically, as I go through my diatribe of who I was and how I got there, I started a hospital. I moved up. The hospital's mostly DECnet. If anyone work at DECnet? Oh, look at that. See? Anyone have any idea what DECnet is that didn't raise their hand? I'm impressed by that. You are too young to know what that is. Ah, sweet. I had a PDP-11. You know what PDP-11 is? It's the machine that sent the astronauts to the moon. I had one of those. So I got in. I was young. I knew all this new technology, this amazing Windows 2000 stuff. So I got in and I just took off. I went from terminals to computers and client server stuff, and everyone loved me. I got it running. I got it going. I worked 80 hours a week. I didn't care. I didn't have a social life. All right. By the way, that's a shuttle Atlantis, right? If you can tell me what's wrong with that photo, you get a nice bag.
Is that the 84 one?
Nope. That's Atlantis. Atlantis took off in 87, 88. Nope. The main engines are always active at launch. They are only active at launch. It is a mirror image. If you look, NASA and the flag are on the wrong wing. See? Come on. Flags are right here. See? You're not the optometrist. 1-800-eyeglasses is going to be in the. Let's see. I keep mine on my head. It's kind of a weird thing, so. All right. So what did it bring me, right? Everyone's been as part of the career. If you have not had this epiphany of career, you are in for a rude awakening. You think you're awesome. You think you're great. No one can be better than you. Guess what? Something's going to get you. And it's going to be ugly. You will be, like Hemingway likes to say, I just reread Call to Arms for the first time in 20 years. The world breaks everybody. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's going to happen. Well, the other line is, who it doesn't break, it kills, right? So let's not be killed by. All right. So Everyone see this movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High? All right. Dude, that was my skull. All right. I thought I was smart, and then I didn't really realize. I had a huge, massive breakdown. I had, well, not mental, but the domain crashed because I made an Active Directory forest issue change that was not right. I had a domain controller, the drive seized. They heated up. Primary domain controller failed. Oh, I have backups. Well, the backup, the secondary backup was the one you server right on top of the first one. So that overheated. It caused a failure in the secondary. Well, I have a tertiary, another data center. Oh, that's fine. That didn't work because the global catalog couldn't replicate because of the Active Directory issue that I didn't cleanly do. And I actually still remember a dear friend of mine named Chris, when I was doing it, he said, "You probably don't want to do that." It's fine. What's going to happen? And so, in postmortem, I realized what happened. My management was actually very supportive because I was the person who got us back up. After a 23-hour day. But they're like, let's take you back and teach you what you don't know. Because the world is not only technology, right? What is security, right? Security is process with technology added and people, right? So, I'm almost 30. I get married to a lovely New Jersey girl. I swore I'd never marry or date someone from Jersey. I married a girl from Jersey. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not moving up as fast as I used to. I'm chomping at the bit. I want to do more things and do new things. I have a degree in digital forensics from Johns Hopkins. I really want to get into that, right? So I decided, hey, I got my degree, right? I know all this type of stuff. In 2002, my hospital was like, there's this thing called HIPAA. We don't know it. Figure it out. You're in charge of it. Now, this is the department level. I'm not, that big dome building, there's actually, the CPO and the CISO there are extremely good and were great mentors of mine. But I had to learn it myself as well because I'm the choke point in the department for it. And my department's, 2,500 people. There's a lot of data, and I knew data centers. I knew servers, I knew cabling, I knew how to do all this stuff. I knew how to build them. So I'm like, okay, I'm marketable. Hospitals don't pay that well, so I'm going to go. So yeah, bye-bye. They're remaking this movie, by the way. And, and when I explained it to some of my friends that never read the book, they're like, it's freaky. So I'm happy, right?
There are certain things you should not be remade.
True. The loss of innocence is, yeah, that's, especially when you're a father. Yeah, that's kind of scary. So I'm leaving, right? I went to a new job. I was doing information security wholesale. I was working with one of the best CISOs in healthcare. Still am. Actually, he left, and we're actually back together again. And so that's where I'm at. So I'm making a lot of money. I'm doing good. Those crazy people that hated me doing anything security policy-wise, gone. I did, whatever. And then the crazy people doing stupid shit all the time, gone, right? Shorter commute, doing fine. Anyone do a FISMA? All right. How many controls do you have to deal with in FISMA? So again, I hate compliance. FISMA High has 587 controls. And they just added, a couple years ago, about 68 privacy controls. And it is for healthcare, in HHS. All right. And I still had to deal with crazy people, right? But, and it happens. And that happened a couple times. I went to a couple different jobs after being very stable in one position, growing up in IT security. The next 10 years I've been, I'm on my third job now. And, I got to a position where, I'm a deputy CISO now. I build stuff. I have a very good boss that I work with. The other members of the team I think very highly of. It's great. But, how good is it really, right? Because you still have the people who don't want to do it. You still have the people who just do crazy stuff. Yeah, okay? So, you're always going to have that frustration. But that's where I'm at right now, And I'm sure everyone else does too. And that's one of the things I found out from talking to a bunch of people. I'm talking to everyone from the IT, help desk person who gets screamed at every day to, CISOs with, 15 years of experience ever since CISO really came out, or before that, director of security or director of networking, right? You're always off kilter. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, and that's true, right? But you're almost expecting the winds that grab you by the the tail and throw you out. All right, so everyone's looking at me like, why the hell did I do this? Well, I'm narcissistic, so obviously I need to tell you about my life and how awesome I am. But really, it's more to let you guys know, like, we're all very similar in our tracks, right? How many people, I said that, how many people, realize that's kind of what I've been through, right? I've left, I got more money, or hopefully got more money, but I'm still dealing with the barbarians at the gate. And so, it's just more to be related to, right? I'm a dog person. I love dogs, and I watch, as a 40-year-old, I'm on Reddit way too much. All right. So, various things have worked for me. How many people have a college degree here? All right, good. How many people have done other training than college? Yes. Like a SANS course, something like that, or even a boot camp. All right. So, all you on the internet, all right, sitting there, you people in in your basements, looking at this, wondering who the hell this guy is. As someone who's now in a position of hiring, everyone who's out there and who's not at least trying to better themselves through some sort of education doesn't work. And a lot of times, I don't care what your position, I don't care what your degree's in. I mean, I've hired people with English degrees. Now that's for an IT job. But, the whole critical thinking thing is actually a great idea. Does it have to be degrees? No. It really hasn't. It's just, you have to show that you have the initiative to do something. And if you stop right after your college is done, screw this. The only thing I care to keep on from college is binge drinking and eating pizza on the weekends at 10 a.m. in the morning in my bed. I can't hire that person. Because they're not trying. They're not trying to learn. They're not trying to expand who they are. You don't really know who you are until, they say the average man really figures out and grows up about the age of 37. That's absolutely wrong. At least for me. Hopefully before I die, I'll figure that out. But the issue is, if you don't keep trying this stuff, you're just going to become worthless to the environment. You're going to be stagnant. You're going to be that person that keeps on saying, use Fortran. All right? And there's a lot of those people out there. All right? This is the part that kills me right now. So, I started college in 1994. I majored in beer and girls. Okay, beer, and I had hallucinations that I knew and met girls, okay? Because I was still a geek then. I eventually graduated Johns Hopkins. That is a college career path I do not recommend for anybody. Usually, if you go to a state school, you're going to end up at best a tech school, and I actually went to tech school in between. But the cost is insane. All my friends are starting to retire. Their kids are now leaving. Why is a state school costing as much as Harvard, more than Harvard did when I was, in my teens? That's not a question to be answered. But
When you left Tennessee Tech, I'm going to recall between room and board and tuition, close to $17,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. University of Pittsburgh was just about $6,000. Room and board. That's the most expensive public school in the country. That was 94. You know what? My alma mater, Johns Hopkins, has paid off, thankfully. But You know how much it's there for a year? 63,000 for a year. Now you have access to some of these. Johns Hopkins is one of the premier research institutions in the world. It really is. It gets the most federal funding for research, and being around those mines was just amazing. But is it worth that? Like I said, if you're the kind of person that's going to keep going in your life, maybe. Right? Here's something that came out. E&Y. Did anyone see about this story? E&Y is taking away their need for a degree for entry-level positions. And other Big Four are looking at the same thing. Because if you look in depth, basically it gave them, the candidates, no definitive advantage. Because they were probably like me, the whole time, right? It really hasn't, because college has not become a place of really learning anymore. It's more of a lifestyle. That actually was a quote from one of the E&Y directors. All right, so I said in the brief, if you read it, that I'll give you a roadmap. There's your roadmap for a career. That is the Tokyo subway and light rail system. Has anyone been to Tokyo? Good luck reading that. That's how you get around. So just keep the slide deck for you. All right, so you got to have a roadmap. You got to know where you're going in life, right? How many people have a roadmap for their career? Who? All right. Who wants to be a CISO? Fool. All you. What do you want to do? What do you want to do when you grow up? Good. Blue shirt. Blue to red. Yep.
Network operations a little bit now. Happy issues.
You want to stay there? Do you want to be a tech the rest of your life, or do you want to move up? Do you want to run a knock or the?
I don't know how far I want to move up. I've been in the management or had to manage people before. I don't feel like it.
That's a nice revelation. Not everyone's cut out to be a manager. And it's not that you are not able to do it. It's just that being a manager sucks. I love doing it, actually. I love having a team. I love helping my team grow and become better, and eventually leave the little nest and cry a little bit.
I think you would like it better if it was the special snowflakes he chose instead of the one someone else chose for him.
Snowflakes are an interesting thing. Now, everyone knocks millennials, and I do too, but it's not. Millennials are actually doing the same thing that me as a Gen X did. They're changing the boundaries of what work does. And so that's an issue that we're having. It's more, I want to work. I live in Baltimore. I work in the area between the beltways of Baltimore and D.C. So that's there's a big glass building that starts with three letters NSA. And the contractors for the top secret clearance of Poly, TSSCI Poly, are making $130. And you'll get a kid out of UMBC who says, my teacher was at NSA, I'm worth $110. No, you're not. And the look on their face when you tell them that is almost heartbreaking. Like, I was expecting that. I read all this stuff. I talked to people on online media, and that's what I'm worth. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what you got. And then you really give them a run through the gauntlet. And I talked to some of you guys about this outside. They don't got it. They got some stuff, and they have some new ways of looking at things, which is one nice thing that I think millennials really bring. They bring a different point of view. But they don't really have it. And that's just an issue I'm having all the time trying to hire anybody. But notice the bound hands, right? All right. What do you want to do? Blue shirt. Yeah.
I'd like to do consulting on web and mobile
Okay. So what would you do if the software that does the testing for it becomes much more wholesome and complete and can actually do most of that job for you? Like Fortify actually becomes more or less a real, well, Fortify really doesn't do mobile web, but, web applications in a mobile phone are becoming more web applications. It's just a shell, right? It's going to work through a browser. It's pretty more, actually on the server side. So you can't keep yourself bound to that, right? This is something I learned. All right, like NOC. We're going to software-defined networking, self-healing networks. Cisco and some of the other vendors have some really crazy stuff in the pipeline. Now, granted, it's going to take 20 years to put out, but eventually a lot of jobs are going to be automated, including our jobs. So you have to think about that next level. Where am I really going to go? Am I going to be paying to it, right? I'm behind. Doesn't matter. All right, I already talked interaction time. It's one of my favorite things. I have a cat that likes to listen to me. Again, that is a Reddit photo. She, listens to me and then yells at me because I haven't fed her in 15 minutes. All right, skills. What skills do you guys have? What do you think matters most in a job? In this field? Communication? Playing well with others. Good. Sandbox. Anybody else? Problem solving. You guys have been listening. You guys have been reading your LinkedIn HR feeds. That's good. Actually, because in my notes I was like, expecting more like, aptitude programming, stuff like that. But it's nice to hear that, right? So I move a lot when I'm talking, by the way. It's actually called crouching tiger is the speaking style. I learned that from Toastmasters is a group that teaches you how to speak. So if you ever want to learn how to speak in front of crowds, you have issues with it. A dear friend of mine taught me about this, and again, I'm sidetracking, but there you go, right? How about scheduling? All right, I'm in the federal world. I'm a contractor. I get 12 hours a month on this one project. How do I plan that out, right? That's a huge deal because that's P&L, right? Profit and loss. No matter what we do, we are still slaves to the fact that we need to be able to either make money or save money. All right? Unless you're fed, and actually that is coming to reckoning too, like or hate the new administration, they have marching orders to make the departments more efficient. So you're either helping save money or you're making money. All right? So if you don't know how your business runs, you don't know what's important, you don't know what they're selling, you don't know the infrastructure, you don't ask these questions, and even if you don't know, ask the question. You see someone that works on that side. Hey, what are you doing? I go out there, right? I like to talk to anybody. I have a very bad penchant of walking past the owner's office or the administrator and saying, hey, what's up, man? I'm your IT guy, or I'm your security guy. And most people are like, don't go there. You're scary. Or she's scary. I'm like, no, it's great. If that person is scary, they shouldn't be in that job. Most of them are actually very friendly. They don't have a lot of time, so be very sparing of it. Always be in a position of either, hey, I saw this, I can help, or hey, I saw this, what does this mean? What can you do? A lot of them actually like being mentors. That big M word that we all hear about, we need mentors. And you really do, and a lot of people don't get them because they don't look for them. Right? Because, as we saw in our keynote, we're all introverted and we're all, crying inside. I mean, that was a very good talk. I hope everyone saw it because it's very true. But, have that, right? How many people work in budgeting? Anybody do budgets yet? Pain in the ass, right? It's a pain in the ass. Because you have to look into the 8 ball and see where something's going to happen because you know how much your hard material is going to cost. first time I did a budget, I completely forgot about the need of cost for network cables. Plenum Cat 5e, back in that time, ain't cheap, especially several thousand feet of it. I didn't make my budget, but it was a learning. My actually administrator, who I walked in and said, "Hi, this is me. I'm taking an accounting class. I want to learn how you do accounting here at the hospital." Gave me that, and he knew I'd screw up. So kudos to him, good man named Marty, for knowing that I wanted to do it and actually giving me that leeway. He actually gave me a budget. He told me 30% less of what is actually in the budget because he knew I'd miss it by that much. I was actually under budget. All right? How can you navigate the company? Who's the most important person to know in the company? Secretaries. Who else? Who's the next people to know? Janitors. That's on the list, but the second most people for me are accounting. So when I was at the hospital, I spec'd out a server for you, Quad Xeon, Pentium 4 Quad Xeon, right, when I was a kid. I had an entire terabyte shelf we were buying. Terabyte of storage. 15 drives, right? I was geeking out. I couldn't believe I had the money to buy this thing. Sent it over to purchasing. I just, dumped it. Here you go. So what does purchasing do? What is their drive? What do they need to do? Cut budget. Buy it for the least amount of money they can. So we were a Dell shop at the time for Dell servers, which at the time was kind of painful, but they got better. Don't sue me. And I got this white box PC class system with 2 spare drives that were, I think, each 512 meg. Well, it had a 1. If they added it up, they'd be 1, not a T, it'd be, right? What the hell? I was at the hospital, so I walked across 6 buildings, 3 blocks, going through all the, I stormed through the PICU, these poor nurses that are taking care of these kids, I'm, going through because I knew it was a shortcut, looking angry as all out. And I got there, what the hell? Well, you didn't tell me I couldn't sole source it. So he said to another person, another company that does it for cheaper, said, yeah, we got you. Yeah, they got us. So, know those people, right? If you could do your expense report right, if you are not that person that needs it, you will be loved. Be loved, all right? All right, so excited. Experience matters, right? Not always. Like I said, 4 trying people, many firms come back. No, they're not. All right, so you can have a ton of experience in your resume, but don't bring that experience into a meeting. Don't bring experience into what you're doing unless it matters. Don't talk to me about COBOL programming if I'm having a firewall rule discussion. You're wasting my time and everyone else's time. All right? All right. Who wants to come up here? Come on. You look happy. Come on. Yeah? See? Shouldn't be fixing yourself. All right, so how old are you?
23.
23. So I was bashing you earlier. This is my millennial friend. It's changing the world. All right, so are you in college? Are you have a job now, or where are you at?
Yeah, I'm still in college.
Still in college?
Yep.
All right, so let's do this little impersonation, right? You're applying for a job. You just got out of college. And it's for a junior analyst, SOC analyst. Is that what you're studying for? Yes, say it is. All right, so awesome. All right, so but you say, I'm going to interview you. I'm HR, because HR just pushes people through. Come over this way. I don't want the internet to see my face. See, look at that. See, look. Wait, smile for everybody.
This way?
Smile for everybody. All right, now Google knows you're in the machine. All right, so I see you apply for this job. Do you have 10 years of experience?
No,
No. Why not?
because I've been in school.
Well, that's not an excuse. Well, why don't you have that information? How would you overcome not having 10 years of experience in COBOL or C++?
Studying it would be probably the only way.
How would you study it?
Through school or through online. Just like anything you can find pretty much. And practice.
That's pretty cool. I need to write that down. So have you ever had that issue before? Anyone ever see that issue before in job interviews or job? I lost out to a position once. Yeah, obviously, thank you. I lost out to a position once where it was 2011, and the person, and of course, the one thing, if you do not get hired for a job, send them a note, even if they don't respond. Thank you for your time. Yeah, but please, I know you didn't. I was not the choice. What did I not have? Because that answer might surprise you. It may be. It's almost always never been something about my position, my abilities. It's usually about like something with a business or if someone knows this one thing a little bit better. That has nothing to do with security. In 2011, the person who beat me out had 15 years of HIPAA. Now, how many people know HIPAA? What happened 15 years before 2011? HIPAA was passed by Congress. So unless this dude wrote the damn law, right? Lied on his resume. That's another thing we'll come back later, right? I was like, I actually had a handset. Thankfully, I would have probably destroyed my cell phone at the time. I'm like, and I'm talking to the head HR person for this hospital. So did you guys review his resume? Oh yeah. I'm like, so he wrote the actual HIPAA law? No? I'm like, well, because if he has 15 years of experience, then he wrote the law. And then she's like, and I literally heard her go, oh. Didn't check his resume. And if for all of you like me who are hiring, if you see something that looks fishy, just ask him on it. I'm a CISP. Well, okay, CISP is a math, is an English test. What's your number? I'll get that to you. Okay. You'll never hear from him again.
Something I would do at the end of my interview, and I do this, even if it's a job that I know I'm not qualified for, I go for the interview anyway.
Yeah.
Is,
That's a good thing.
after everything is said and done, what could I have changed or answered better for you?
Yes, and that's actually a very good thing.
They'll give you good feedback, so you know what to change them the next time.
Also, if you get the job, you'll know more about the company's culture, what they're looking for. I had someone say, I was overdressed. I was in a suit for an interview. Yeah. All right? The person who interviewed me was in cargo shorts and a t-shirt. They thought I was stuffy. So, remember all the things that matter. This is stuff you should know, and I'll just go over again, right? Talk to someone in a way they understand. Do not talk to upper management about SQL issues, about XML injection, right? Just say there's a vulnerability, right? This is actually kind of an interesting Twitter to follow because they rewrite. Which one is that? What song is that? Eminem, right. Right? Spell check. Spell check is my evil thing. You'll see him on Twitter because I don't really check it. Autocorrect actually gets me every time on Twitter. Right? And you're not going to be the cool kid anymore, right? I said, I was the cool kid. I did everything right. Everything like that. Who does not get this thing? Who does not get this cartoon? It's okay to say it's all right. Oh, no one's going to put their hand up. All right. I know. All right. See this archaic device? Now, this is actually a telephone in Colonial Williamsburg. And my tweet for the day was, I'm in Colonial Williamsburg. Look what antiquated systems they had back in the 1700s. It's a telephone, right? And actually was still in the box. I didn't take that picture. And my son said, Dad, what's that? He's 8. It's a telephone. Like on the wall, like we have at home? Yeah. That's cool. Let me start this discussion. We're the only family, aside from one next door, has a phone on the wall. It's a cordless phone, at least. All right? Everybody F's up. I told you one of my biggest F's up, all right? United, right? All right, so the Pepsi commercial, I didn't see it. I'm glad I didn't see it. United, the WCW, whatever, WWE or F or whatever it is, body slam people in Iowa, fine. Then I watch C-SPAN only for Sean Spicer. And I recommend you do too, so as not to do any interviews or interact with people at your work. What movie is this? The Jerk. A great movie. For you people who haven't seen this movie, it's a great movie. Someone hates these cans, all right? Just don't be a jerk, all right? Remember that. Just because you know something doesn't mean they should know it. All right? There's a very important thing, a line that I don't remember what it's attributed to, is if I explain something to you, and you don't get it the second time around, that's my problem. That's not their problem. If they need to know it and I can't explain it to them, that's my fault. I'm hired to do that. I have to talk to people above me and talk to people below me. All right? Right now, that's people who are tech, or regulations, compliance, people above me, managers, management, C-level. They don't give a damn about MS 1511 and why that's such a hard thing to roll out. No one knows what that one is? UNCPATH. Yes, very good. They don't care. They just want to know, at the end of the day, am I all right? And so you need to get to know them and know they're not jerks. Most people who you think are jerks, actually most people you see at the end of the day who are the most hardline managers that you hate, if you follow them home, and I don't recommend doing this, but if you, I've worked with a couple, and I come over to my house, and I'm like, you hate me. Are you going to kill me? But you have influence, so I'm going to do it. And I get, the dude's in like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts, and his kids are out in the lawn. It's like a perfect frolicking, everyone's having fun, and he is Mr. Happy and party, and I'm like, where the hell did this guy come from? It's because it was a learning experience, right? I can't be a nice guy. And he's a very nice man. I can't be a nice guy at work because they walk all over me. He learned that. And his job is to get things. This is a hospital guy. He worked in emergency management. So you have to get people moving. And so if it's like, hey guys, there's trauma coming in, let's all go help this person. No. Room 3, stat, now. So you just got to learn that thing, right? All right. Nothing worse. Who do you know? What's the most important part of this conference? I said it earlier. Networking. Leave with a friend, right? That's pretty cool. Actually, I think this is the trestle near where I grew up at that was burning. Don't burn a bridge if you can. I know sometimes you just want to watch it burn. You're like, yeah, going down, right? I'm gonna call somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna printer you. It will almost always bite you. A dear friend of mine had a very large consulting practice. New person came in above him, killed it. Absolutely killed it. And he was successful, he was very profitable, but this guy didn't know that he was just a jerk. So he had a great team, it got disbanded, and karma bit the guy in the butt. He went to jail for, I think, securities fraud. So eventually it's going to, do it. But you can't burn that bridge. I've seen it so many times. So, what happens when you leave a company, right? Does all your information go away? This is not the EU. All right? They can't forget you, right? Because you have all this stuff. So what's the first checkbox that any manager has when you leave a company, when you terminate from a company? I worked for Walmart for 3 years. I know everyone said, God damn, I just wasted an hour of my life with some Walmart dude. But I'm still rehireable at Walmart. I left that company, I literally took that, I still have that smock, and I wear it at parties. I wore it at my college graduation, just to remind me. But I was so happy to get out of there. But the thing is about Walmart is, the reason I thought I'm going to be a manager. I'm going to be a manager of my store. Because I was going to throw myself into it. And my manager at the time, a guy named Pat Patinato, we used to call him Pat Partsinato, grabbed me by my shirt and said, if you're not in school in 3 months, I'm firing you. That was because he said, this is not my profession. And like I said, I had a mentor. I actually sought him out initially for advice, what to do, how to get ahead, become a manager. No. Because I had that, career choice. But when I walked out, I did not burn that bridge. I've never been, the only place I cannot be rehired at is a company that merged with another company. Because, they don't exist anymore.
I was a store manager for Claire's for 7.5 years. Sweet. I'm still fairly, Facebook friends with my
Yeah. Again, you can remember, a lot of people that you might hate them, but there may be a reason why they're being jerks. What comes down to it? What do you really need in life? Shelter, right? The hierarchy, right? Shelter, you need human interaction, you need food. If you ever have a bug out bag, the bomb drops, first thing you need is shelter, first off. I'll just say that right now. But you need someone to be with, right? I'm married. I've been married for 12 years in June. Still, my wife still says she cares about me. I have 2 wonderful kids. If you don't have someone that is a very good friend, and this goes back to the opening talk today, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can open up to, you are in serious shit. Can I say that at Christian University? Okay. You are. You are in serious shit because you have no outlet. I know all you have, like Amanda said, is drinking. Or another person, Amanda, it was a great talk. I really liked hearing that. It was a very important talk. I would say probably 60 to 70% of the people I know in this field are alcoholics. Absolutely. All right. And if you don't think that's true, then you need to seriously take a look at everything around you. Or they're on something else. Violet Blue is someone I follow. I met her out in BSides San Francisco. It's hard to miss her because of her hair color. Also, great speaker. She talks a lot about this, about the underbelly of the cyber world. I hate that word cyber. But it's the sales pitch, right? And it's not just the drugs, it's the drinking, it's the sex issues, it's all that comes out, right? I said, leave here with a friend. But don't just talk to them about stuff. Make a good friend. Because you need that. All right? Right on time, right? Like I said, don't lie. This is what happens when someone finds out you're lying on your resume or something like that. Don't lie. If I find out you lied on your resume, I will make your life hell. And I still make people's lives hell. There's a guy at a big consulting company on the DC circuit, and he totally lied about himself and his HIPAA experience. I cause this guy living hell all the time. And it's fun. So, Scotty, what's the Scotty principle? Factor of 4, right? It's going to take me 5 minutes to do it, right? Tell them 20 minutes. Trust me, that will set your expectations, okay, set them low, exceed them. Trust me, that will save you, and I know people have heard this before, but just do it. And that means everything, all right? If you have a family member, time to get home at 11. Show up at 10, they'll love you forever, right? Don't think everyone's stupid. This comes back to what I said before. Just because someone doesn't know what you do, they don't do what you do. All right? I cannot do accounting. I've taken graduate level classes in accounting. I know some stuff, I do the PERT and all that stuff and on the spreadsheets and all that stuff. I don't know that stuff. they think I'm an idiot for not doing this stuff right. All right? So don't think that you are end all be all. All right? All right. The last thing is, see this look? Everyone see this look from someone you report to? How many was that? 5? Or all right. How many people have talked to their superiors and they're like this? All right. So that comes back. Yeah, that comes to the point where you talk to someone, you need to make sure that they understand that. Right? You need to understand what motivates them, what drives them, all that stuff. And I've seen it before, and some of those experienced people, and I know I'm like doing the Italian thing, and I'm not even Italian, they go up to the board, and they have a 20 slide PowerPoint presentation. How much time do you think the board has for you, if you ever go to the board? That's good. If you have 5 minutes, that's usually actually not good. It's usually because they want to ask a bunch of questions from a bunch of, because they've read something or another competitor was this pot, and they want to make sure that we're not next. You usually get 2 slides at max to beg for money and to tell them that the money they gave you last year is good. All right, see that? 0 to 100. Every senior manager I've ever dealt with, that's all they care about. All right, they don't care about charts, they don't care about trending, they don't care about anything. Where am I at? Are 0, are we going to be sued? 100, are we perfectly safe? All right? You're never going to be 100. Be honest with them. High B is not bad. All right? All right, G-Plug. I am BSides Charm. If you guys are in Baltimore, it's next week, so, get your travel plans in order. Or come to and speak with me next year at BSides. All right, I actually am out of time. If there's any questions, like I said, I hope this was useful to you. I know some of this you're like, oh my God, that's my life, or oh my God, I'm glad I'm not this jerk. Come and ask, or heckle me later on Twitter. All know my address. If some of you looking kind of sad and need a hug, I'm here for you.
What are your thoughts on Tennessee Tech for the cybersecurity program?
I don't know Tennessee Tech very well. I am in Maryland. I know University of Maryland's very good. Johns Hopkins is an excellent program.
The reason I'm going to Tennessee Tech is because in the fall is cybersecurity for
I have to check.